Disclaimer. This video is made for entertainment purpose only. It doesn't mean to hurt anyone, and don't take it seriously.
Good in the time when.
All right, me podcast, you listen. We are in a movie mode, and it's a good movie mode. It's going to be beautiful.
We have to change the title of the movie like they have, I guess. When we do the review, people won't know what we're reviewing, I guess.
I just wanted to show I've been playing guitar, been hanging out, jamming out with my squirrels in the back. Can never do the D chord.
Are the dogs entertained when you play?
Yes, I go, no milk bones.
Oh, they start barking, howling with you.
No milk bones for you. My like a milk bones, we like a bones.
I wonder if non-huskies would howl. If like would Sadie and what was your other dog's name?
Louis?
Louis?
Who?
Huey?
Yeah.
Huey, Horton's here's a Huey.
My son named him after a country western wear and then abandoned the dog at my house. So
It sounds like my sister. She's never really a pet person, but she has a dog, a cat, had a fish for a while till it died.
Said, I want to have a dog, Dad. And I said, all right, let's get a dog. And he says, wait, don't really want one. You can have her. She's all yours. So I actually went and saw this movie before you saw, what's it called? Imposters?
Imposters.
What's the name of this movie called?
It's called New Avengers now because they're spending money for marketing, but it was Thunderbolts with an asterisk because they always plan to change the name. So
Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Which was named after the soccer team.
Well, actually, it's a comic based off of villains who become heroes. But yeah, they changed it to a soccer team in the movie. It's kind of fucking stupid.
So,
along with a lot of other things in the movie that were kind of dumb.
So we just want to give a review of this movie. I think the movie itself lacks pizzazz. It lacks the luster of the Avengers. It doesn't have what we would say as fair weather fans exactly what the hell is going on. So it felt like a forced movie to me, and it felt like it was just rushed. So
and if you're new to our show, I don't know if it's the same 53 people over 54 now, but you would classify yourself more as a casual like comic book movie or fan, right? You wouldn't know obviously the history of a lot of these guys outside of the movies you've seen.
No.
So we would give at least a couple different takes from someone who probably knows I mean, I'm more of a DC Comics guy, but than Marvel. But I know enough Marvel to know some of those characters, who they're based off of, who they're trying to, I guess, get us to.
So I guess we'll just go with the expert here. What is your take on this movie as they start? I'm assuming another franchise of the Avengers. I'm assuming this is a beginning of another range of Avenger movies, correct?
Yeah. Would this be Phase 5? I'm not on top of these phases now. So this is either the end of Phase 4 or the beginning of Phase 5. People have to forgive me for that, but yeah, I felt this movie. It was definitely it's supposed to be a bridge along with Fantastic Four into what, if everybody's heard the news, it's basically leading into Avengers Doomsday, which is supposed to introduce Tony Stark as Doctor Doom. Or I want to say Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. is Doctor Doom. And we don't know if this is supposed to be an amalgam of Tony Stark or whatnot. But eventually, long story short, it's these movies, including Fantastic Four, are supposed to lead into this kind of Secret Wars / Doomsday, which is supposed to be like a smorgasbord of X-Men that we all remember. They're not going to cast anybody new. They're bringing them all back, the Avengers and so on and so forth, as we get closer to that or whatnot. or if there's a trailer, I'll give my thoughts on that. But this movie, originally supposed to trick you into thinking, hey, it's Thunderbolts, was always meant to be called New Avengers, and it's more like an Avengers task force, I would call it, than it is an actual Avengers lineup. There are a couple people who are on the Avengers in the comics or short stints on them, including the Sentry. But I felt like this should have been a Disney Plus series, and maybe they were originally going to do it, or maybe this was always the plan. But I felt like they didn't. From what I'm hearing now, is they didn't spend a whole lot of money, and you could kind of tell, except for the scene where Sentry's battling him. The movie really, yeah, maybe they did a few stunts and they're spending more money now on marketing to let people know, hey, this is New Avengers, come see it now. And I feel like it showed a little bit because it was very sappy in some areas.
Where did you read that they didn't spend much money on the movie?
I was one of the recap movies. I want to say it was Emergency Awesome's channel. They do a good job with recaps. I know sometimes I'll watch Screen Crush and stuff, but pretty sure I watch them. I didn't look at one of the secret hidden Easter eggs movies. Usually I do that. I haven't really been inspired to watch any of those yet, although I probably will eventually. I should have before this, but basically we're just giving our thoughts. Obviously, there I don't like sometimes to be influenced by other people's thoughts, but factual wise, they had Sebastian Stan going around Los Angeles and putting the new poster that says New Avengers instead of the poster was up that had him on it saying Thunderbolts. So they're spending a lot of money on marketing now to let people know, hey guys, this is New Avengers, go see it.
So far the movie, according to this, the movie spent 180 million on production, 100 million on marketing. And the film has grossed over 161 million worldwide, with 76 million of that domestically.
Yeah.
So that was just released this week, though.
That info, yeah.
Out of the 280 million, they've almost got half of that back. So it's not bad, right? A little more than half.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
week. So
yeah, it's not bad. I wouldn't say it's bad. I mean, I would say if you're wondering to see this movie, it's probably a little overhyped. Because they're really obviously they're trying to sell you, oh, go see it, it's the best MCU in a while. Even if you believe it's the best MCU movie in a long time, that's not saying a whole lot because they've had some that have been stellar.
Uh-oh.
So
must have been an earthquake over at MCU's place. We just technical difficulties at this moment. I will continue to talk so we don't see the screen just shaking around like a violent.
There was a helicopter, loud helicopter, as they're circling around.
Looking for you.
Yeah, they're like, who's that? What are they saying bad things about this movie?
You making fun of Disney? Mickey Mouse gonna show up with those
Talk about the leader of the CIA, Elaine.
Yeah, Elaine from Seinfeld. The hell she's the bad guy in this movie, right?
Yeah, so she's like kind of, this was their version of Amanda Waller in a way. Although this was kind of like Amanda Waller burning her whole Suicide Squad to the ground so she can protect her behind, because she's being impeached in a movie to set up the plot. And the dialogue is very bad, I would say. I don't know if you noticed that for the first half of the movie, especially. I think it does get better later on. I think it's very, very cheesy in some ways, very dumbed down dialogue. I think about halfway through. It's filled with a lot of gang comedy, I call it. I guess I don't know what that's the right word for it, but just where you get a bunch of people together and they're all sarcastically quipping, and then you got Alexei, played by David Arbor, the Red Guardian. He's a nonstop joke throughout the whole film, even when she's in probably Florence and Pugh's best scene later on in the movie, where she's just crying about. This is why I joke with you off the air. This felt like a COVID movie, like people just loneliness of their lives in there. But she really, actually, in seriousness, she did do a good job. She was really just talking about her losses in life and everything, and he's still like, I still felt like, how can you take this goon character now and replace him like he was her adopted father? Yeah, and he was
now he's her father.
Yeah, now he's supposedly, she's laying some heavy shit on him in the scene in the streets. And this follows probably the best scene in the movie, where Sentry just wipes the floor with him, because the movie is very much about how this origin story of the Century, who's basically a Superman ripoff that Marvel created later in their history to kind of explain, oh, he was forgotten, he was a forgotten hero and all this other jazz. So they kind of did their own spin of the Century. And he is cool in the scene where he's mashing him, but it felt like that's where they spent probably most of their budget. He wipes the floor with them. They go in the elevator like a shame, walk of shame. They come out and she just lays into them how they're losers, and then it leads into her speech to her adopted dad, Red Guardian, and that was good. I mean, she did good. I mean, throughout the film, I like her. She's very good in her role. It's just all of these are kind of, 3 of them are super soldiers, so they're kind of redundant in a way. They're just different super soldiers, and it's like you killed I mean, it's obviously spoilers in there. They killed Taskmaster like 20 minutes into the film, and Taskmaster was the whole center of the Black Widow movie. And I get it. That was a gender swap to begin with, so it wasn't really the Taskmaster from the comics. But it's like they just said, okay, we're going to give you people what you want. You hate the Taskmaster as a female? Boom, the ghost kills her.
Oh, so, and he just shoots her in the head.
Yeah, and
I thought there was a little more violence in this movie. I thought this movie was a little different than other Avengers movie because there was death.
Yeah.
Getting killed. So that's different than what is previous Avenger movies, because not a lot of people, I mean, they're dying, but they're not like dying, like they're getting killed. Like she was shooting people right in front of them. Yeah. So normally it's like wound them or injure them, but not kill them like she was killing them. So,
yeah, probably more killing than Daredevil, even though, Daredevil was pretty good. I don't know if you finished that series. I know you were on the fence on the beginning, but Daredevil.
I grew up and decided.
Daredevil actually finished really strong. The last 2 episodes were really good because they were by the new writers and showrunners, basically. So it was Punisher. I don't know how much we spoil, but yeah, if you like John Bernthal's Punisher, he's heavily featured in the last episode, and they set it up. The last 2 episodes, obviously the best part of the series, but yeah, cliffhanger, obviously too. So you're not going to get a finale there in that series.
Now, I do feel like this movie did touch on depression. Like that was the main focus of this movie, was talking about loneliness and depression.
Yeah.
And so I think there was a hidden innuendo in this movie about that. And like you said, it may have been posted for COVID children who are now, but they were
struggling.
COVID, so they're probably 15 years old now.
Struggling COVID babies.
Yeah, I mean, right now they're 5 years old if they were born during COVID. So
struggling COVID copers, maybe.
Most teenagers, most of the people that were taken away from COVID during the time that they all had to sit at home as teenagers. Yeah. So I don't know. I focused it seemed like it was focusing a lot on depression and dealing with your past, and the action part of the movie. The part I didn't like is when he was destroying the city with his little darkness and just kind of destroying everything.
Yeah,
that it just seemed like there was no way in hell you were going to fight off someone that powerful. And then they're like, oh, we'll just go into the darkness and go fight him on the inside. And that's when it started doing the whole depression, dealing with him in his past and stuff.
Yeah, he was abused. And I don't know if that... I have very little info on the Century outside of, because I would have read more Marvel as a teenager and stuff than I did in modern Marvel. And he's more of a modern Marvel character, like maybe in the last...
But why did they create him to replace Superman?
Well, in Marvel's world, I think they kind of wanted to do a little bit of a twist on Superman. I mean, can't be quoted exactly on this, but I think they thought this would be interesting to have a Superman with a personality disorder, and then just show like, hey, while he's a superhero, he also has this dark entity inside of him where he's also the Void. And they do that, but they don't delve into how much of a different personality the Void is. I think they kind of do a poor job in that sense, because maybe the film was already long as it was, so they kind of didn't delve as much into that. Now they tease you with, like you were saying, she felt something with Bob, as he's called in the film, and apparently
apparently I guess they changed his name. They said he didn't want to use the original name, so Bob was like a
No, that's his
alternative
name.
I thought
Yeah.
they decided to call him Bob. I thought he was really
No,
named
he's
something
Rob.
else.
His really his name's Robert Reynolds in the comic, or Bob. I don't know if it is Bob Reynolds. The actor played in some movie where he was Bob. Do you know where he was from? He replaced somebody else, and then apparently with the actor who was very prominent playing another role with Bob. I don't
Is
know
that
what
the guy
that
from
is, but
Deadpool?
no, I don't think
What was
so.
that guy's name that was part of his little, not the Avengers, but the X Force or whatever it was called? There was the guy with normal clothes on.
Oh, fuck was his name? I don't remember. Yeah, Deadpool's buddy, but I know who you're talking about.
So it
Yeah,
says Century, Alien, Earth. So he's supposed to be an alien.
in the comics apparently, but
6'7", 215 pounds, according to this
yeah, he's supposed to be a schizophrenic though. That's why he's got
database.
or he's got multiple personality disorder. I don't know if
My
that's
name is
correct.
Century. For longer than I can remember, I've traveled through space and time, and a mariner of tides of light. My battle staff, Parallax, navigates my course. Does he have a battle staff?
I didn't remember him.
I'm a construct of artificial being, manufactured flesh and blood, into which has been woven 100 different minds, providing me 100 times the experience, knowledge, and skills of a single individual.
Yeah, he's got like the power of 1,000 suns. So, as in, I think they're just trying to say, hey, this guy's more powerful than Superman, but he's also got a multiple personality disorder. I don't know if that's kind of what
they explained to him in this there's a thing called fandom that I'm looking at as a Marvel database,
or like Marvel Wiki or something,
and it tells you who he is.
Yeah, so some of that stuff you read may have been later more fleshed out history.
In Wikipedia, it says the Sentry. They spell it with an S. Robert Reynolds, Bob, and the Voids are respectively a superhero and supervillain appearing in American comic books published by Marvel Comics, created by Paul Jenkson and Jay Lee, which uncredited conceptual contributions by Rick Veitch. The characters first appeared in the Century #1 2000.
Okay, so yeah, he's 25 years old. So yeah, that was close in his history. Yeah. So they've had only about 25 years compared to like almost 100 years or 75 years.
He appears
to flesh
in the
him out.
cinematic universe MCU film Thunderbolts, which is what. So in the late 1990s, they was created, developed an idea, the over the hill guy struggling with addiction who has a tight relationship with his dog. He didn't have a dog in the show, did he?
No, he did not.
Into a proposal for Marvel Comics Marvel Knights line. Jenkins conceived of the character as a guardian type, which is a watchtower, and came up with the name Sentry after previous considered Centurion. The character would be woven into the history of the Marvel Universe, with versions of the character from the 1940s onward depicted in artistic styles matching the comics of each period. So I guess he's supposed to be back just throughout different.
He was supposed to be originally. He was supposed to be like somebody. I don't know if it was his own personality disorder or something made the Marvel universe forget him. So essentially, he is blonde Superman in the Marvel universe, because you could see why we go back to the 40s. Well, Superman was created in the 40s, so or 39, whatever. So that's Superman is basically debuting. So
it's weird. I'll just show you this picture of the cover of the art Century 2. They're trying to make him into like an average Joe. I guess is the best way to describe it.
But then you're saying he's still an alien like Superman.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be like, they said in some of these descriptions that he's an overweight dude. So
they do kind of portray him with the baggy clothes when they find him, when Val is trying to set them all up and kill them all, or get them to kill each other and then basically burn them, would be the I guess the covert ops term, and burn her own assassin group she had. What'd you think of the U.S. agent? They tried to play it up like he was an asshole, but he was actually more of the entertaining part of the film. John Walker, the guy who played the dime store Captain America.
I thought he was funny.
Yeah, I thought he was.
But he also the first time I saw that guy was in that 22 Jump Street.
Really?
Like the football quarterback dude, and I've seen him in several other movies.
He was in Falcon and Winter Soldier, but that was a TV series on Disney Plus, which
I
this
think,
should have been.
yeah, I think he has he has an interesting character. So this is the comic book cover that they originally for Centurion 2. This is this is what
Centurion,
Century 2 is what they call it.
Century the Centurion.
Yeah, that would be his picture.
Yeah, it's so a complete ripoff of Superman.
Yeah, he looks like an average Joe. So I thought he was good. I thought he added, like, I really liked the main character. I think I just can't get over that she was in the movie, the wrestling movie, all in the, what is it called? All
She played Paige, right, in that movie.
So I can't ever get over that she's that chick from the wrestling movie.
But she's been in so many movies, though, hasn't she?
I know, but the only movies I've ever seen her in is the wrestling movie, and then she's been in Black Widow and all that other crap. But I think the people who steal the movie is the Red, what's the name, Red Baron or whatever his name is,
Red Guardian.
Red Guardian. Her
who's played by Stranger Things, David Arbor. I know you.
Yeah, and the other girl that's in the movie, you don't even really pay attention to her. Like, you don't even really.
Yeah, Ghost.
Her character is just not, like, doesn't stand out at all.
No, I mean, maybe that was the point, because she was in one film, I think, Ant-Man and Wasp, and then she wasn't really a used Marvel character. As far as I can remember, I haven't seen every Marvel Disney Plus series. Mm-hmm. Some of them were appealing. Like, I haven't seen Agatha again or whatever the hell that thing's called. Yeah. So that's some of that stuff. I still haven't seen Ms. Marvel. I haven't even seen the Captain America movie one. It's supposed to be released.
The one with the red Hulk.
Yeah, with
they reference it in this movie. They're like, last president turned into a red Hulk, and so it's like, I don't know if you have to watch all these movies, but again, we went and saw it. I'm not a big fan of this stuff, but this one I think was it just seemed like a generic, like the forced down your throat kind of a Marvel movie that, again, got a lot of hype because it's a Marvel movie and everybody was like, yeah, Marvel's back. But then when you saw it, it was kind of like you said when we were talking on the phone, this was probably better to be a Disney Plus movie.
Absolutely.
I don't think this is probably going to go to Disney Plus pretty fast. I don't think a lot of people are going to end up seeing this movie and really following it.
I think even with the new Avengers title replacing this one to try to get it some more hype and, help the movie, I think you're right. It'd probably go to Disney Plus quicker than Captain America, I think. Because Captain America still isn't on there.
It does have a lot of action but see, the Captain America character has been around since Captain America was first released, right? That guy's been involved in Captain America the whole time.
Yeah, Sam Wilson has been Captain America. Maybe no, he's not in the first one because that takes.
He's War Machine or something, wasn't he?
Oh, no, you're thinking of Iron Man.
What was his name though when he turned into? I am thinking of Iron Man. So this Captain America though, he was in it though. What character was he?
He was the Falcon. He was the first Falcon. Yeah.
So again, you've seen him in several of the movies, Avengers and him.
He was in the second Captain America and Avengers on. So when he debuted as Falcon, he's been pretty much a part of this universe up until.
But this movie,
Steve Rogers passes on.
This movie has like two characters you've seen in previous movies. The rest are all kind of brand new. Like you said, you've seen them. They made cameos, but they weren't really standouts. Like you didn't see them and actually pay attention to who their characters were.
So like Ghost would probably fall. She's more the villain or kind of like victim, kind of. She's trapped in whatever she's doing in Ant-Man and Wasp. Red Guardian's in the Black Widow, which was kind of a flashback movie. Now, Sebastian Stan, Winter Soldier, he was a pretty prominent deal in a couple of movies with Civil War and then Winter Soldier. So to see him kind of like in this buddy, kind of like
being goofy,
Seinfeld Avengers, whatever the hell you want to call him. It's
Seinfeld Adventures.
It's kind of a letdown. He does have that one badass scene where he comes in with a motorcycle, but after that he's kind of dumbed down by the rest of the film. And you're right, Black Widow maybe appeared. She maybe had a couple cameos. She was prominent in Black Widow's movie, just like Red Guardian. But again, she was kind of self-contained, and I think she might have appeared in Hawkeye, I think too. But and then who are we missing? Yeah, U.S. Agent was in that Disney Plus Falcon and Winter Soldier TV series. So, and again, Taskmaster was eliminated right away. So she's pretty much. So 3 of them were mainly from Black Widow. You had Ghost from Ant-Man Wasp. You had mainly, like you said, Sebastian Stan, really more than anybody, was the main guy who's been in more Marvel movies than anybody in this. And he's really not the focus of the film. Near the end, he kind of feels more like a co-leader, but it feels like the story is very much about the sadness of Black Widow too, who's the sister of, Natasha, who's, if they bring her back, she's probably going to be like a villain in the Doomsday movie, because I feel like they're going to do alternate reality villain. That's
the
why
alternate universe again.
I think it's going to be alternate. I think it's going to be Universe of Evil Avengers, basically Doctor Doom. She'll probably be Red Widow. You'll have Captain Hydra. Now, I might be wrong, but I kind of get the feeling like if you're starting off with Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, and you're going to bring probably a couple of them back for sure, I feel like maybe we'll see Ed Norton back as the evil Hulk, who's Maestro, who's like the Maestro. He's like the last being on Earth, at the end of the world, basically. So there's a lot of cool ways they could do it. If that's what they're doing, then you will see those actors one last hurrah, basically, in these Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be, but I feel like they're going to reset it, because you can't use these X-Men too that are going to be in this Doomsday movie. So I think at some point it feels like a DC Crisis on Infinite Earths. You're going to kind of merge everything into one, because Fantastic Four is taking place in an alternate universe, and anybody who's seen the after credits knows they kind of spoil that movie too. So it's just
So do you think that we're forcing comic books movies now again? Do you think they're trying to just bring comic books back to the movie scene, since the box office is starting to see probably a bigger flux of people going to the movies again?
Yeah, because we're getting Superman this year, another Marvel one, and Fantastic Four. So yeah, I think they're trying hard to get the hype back in them. Most people don't. I mean, I don't say most. I can't speak for anybody. I know myself. So if I speak for myself, it's going to take a lot to get me to go see a blockbuster film unless I really am invested.
Don't you like going to the movies again?
If it's
like going to the movie theaters?
If it's for $5.50, which is what I seen this for, then yeah, maybe.
Something about movie popcorn, man. I told you the convenience of the movies now. You can call ahead. You could go online. I put my thumb up and I went this way. You can go order your stuff online, get there early. Just give them your order number. They give you your popcorn.
I got there when it started. Then I was waiting while this guy's doing like 3 jobs in one. So, but it's fine. I still plenty of previews. I snuck in corn nuts, watermelon Mike and Ike's, and
snuck in corn nuts,
chocolate covered banana chips.
You're stealing from society.
I'm not stealing for nothing.
Put the tax dollars back in our pockets.
I didn't steal from anything. I walked right in with a bag.
Who eats corn nuts anymore?
I did, because I can't sneak in popcorn. How big of a bag of popcorn? I'm just walking in with a plastic bag.
You could just walk in with popcorn.
I know. I pretty much.
You could walk in and they wouldn't say shit. They'd be like, and you just say, "I'm on a diet."
At this movie theater, I probably could.
You just say, "I'm on a special diet. I can't eat popcorn you guys make." So
gone are the days where me and my buddy, the one man militia, would walk through and he'd have his big trench coat and have sodas inside. So I snuck in a water too. That I could have said was for medical reasons. So
I don't think they snuck in anything. I don't think they give a shit anymore.
I don't think so either. I think they're
they're just happy to purses of anything. I remember one time I went to a movie. I went to a movie with this guy. He invited me to see the Super Troopers 2 with him and his family, and it was like teenage son, his teenage daughter, him and his wife. And then I went to see it, and I took my son, and they're over there buying the huge bag of popcorn. When they asked for those individual trays that they get for people to buy in their own,
they're just
as soon as he bought it, he went, We dumped them all into every tray and then handed the bag back to the person so they could refill it.
We got the refill. Didn't say we can't do that when you gave us free refills.
Fuck you, man. We're beating the system, bro.
You just have some big plastic bag, just keeps dumping it in there, just
That's
satchel.
what I'll do. That's what you do. We'll order the extra large popcorn and be like, jump in the bag,
just dump them all in there.
And there you go.
How are you eating this popcorn so quickly?
No, do it right in front of them. Just get one of those little carry bags, just fill it up and be like,
okay, kids, open your trick or treat bags.
Drinks. We'll each pull out our little hydro flask and just refill, please.
They have free refills on drinks too. What do you have?
Like $1 or something.
AMC Gold Card or some shit.
Harkins. We go to Harkins.
Oh, Harkins. I don't want to say my theater in case somebody ever watches it who's a CEO. What the fuck is bringing food in?
We're freaking looking for corn nuts on this
bitch.
There's gonna be a picture of you.
I know. I fucking recognize that guy when he fucking brought a whole fucking plastic bag of shit.
It's gonna be like a poster, like a one-on poster by the ticket says "Sneaks in corn nuts. Check them."
Fucking don't be this guy, and somehow they have an X-ray fucking photo of me in the last row eating all the shit.
This is funny. Look at me. I put my hand up.
Oh,
how the hell do I get rid of that? Jeez. This is Zoom. Zoom does everything. I got my hand up. I got a question. Oh yeah, you got a question?
We got a question from viewer 8962489.
Yes,
what do you have to?
Our live Super Bowl thing went fucking great. That was the best.
8 people in the room. They're gone in seconds. Yeah, you can watch his on our shorts on our channel.
So
deflating. What we're talking about.
Just so deflating to put.
Like when you're muted.
A live podcast of nobody watching, and then like a bus would show up of people just everybody would dump into our room and be like, oh, okay, and get out.
That was like when we joke like that was Twitch.
Yeah.
We would have to have been hot chicks, and maybe we would have kept them interested.
We could have just wore bikini tops.
Hey,
welcome to our podcast.
Yeah, not us.
Yeah, on us. That would be awesome.
Do they make AI avatars?
Just a video, like a picture of hot chicks, and then they click on it, just us wearing bikini tops.
The mouth? Can you put our mouths inside of them?
Yeah, we could have done like the baby podcast that's going around.
Yeah, kind of like what is it like Karen Gillan on what was it on what the fuck movie was that Jumanji?
Yeah,
where the guy's in her body or whatever the fucking.
Oh yeah.
And then Jack Black's trying to teach her how to be a girl.
Yeah, that was disturbing.
Yes, it was disturbing.
Anyways, next time, have you been watching The Last of Us?
I have not.
HBO Max. No.
I do have it through a good buddy, but
yeah. Another way that MC finds a way to get shit for nothing. Sneaks in corn nuts, watches podcasts and everything else for free. I don't even think that's his microphone. He has nothing that's his.
It's probably
not even wearing his t-shirt.
Probably true.
All right, well, this is it. Last minute. So, Me Podcast, you listen. Thanks for tuning in.
Thumbs up, see the movie or not?
Thumbs across. This way. I would say either way, if you want to go see an entertaining movie, spend time in a movie theater, this would be a good one to go see.
Go see it on Disney Plus.
It's not disappointing, but it is fun to watch. It is 2 hours long, which is kind of long for me. And the new reclining seats they have at the Harkins Theater are getting old, and they're starting to be uncomfortable.
Be prepared to laugh and cry at the same time.
Me Podcast, you listen. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe and check us out. And that is it for our episode of reviewing Thunderbolts.